Welcome to This Wasn't on the Test, the podcast where knowledge meets humor in the most unexpected ways. Join Dr. Jake and Dr. Kayla, a couple with doctorates in their respective fields, and their sister Kelsey, who may not have a PhD but sure knows how to keep things light with her quick humor and relatable take on the world. Whether you're a scholar or just a curious mind, this trio will make you laugh, think, and you might even learn something new. Tune in to find out why this wasn't on the test. Welcome back to This Wasn't on the Test. I'm Kelsey, and I'm here with Jake and Kayla. They are of the doctor type, Dr. Jake and Dr. Kayla.
Hi.
Hello.
I love that.
I'm trying to spice these up.
I got hung up on the of the doctor type.
Of the doctor persuasion.
Of the doctor persuasion.
Yeah. The doctor persuasion. The doctor type, you know.
Do you know that I was logging in to our Disney Shenanigans account to get stuff ready for our cruise. And apparently when I registered us for this cruise, I put both of us in there as like Dr. Jacob Berg, Dr. Kayla Berg. Like, because it asked for your title.
Because it's factual?
Right. But it was funny that I read in there, it's like, here's your like manifest, itinerary, whatever. And it's like Dr. Jacob Berg, Dr. Kayla Berg, Miss Emmeline Berg.
Well, they better like greet you as that then. I bet they will.
Friggin' better. Mickey Mouse better call me Dr. Berg.
Does Mickey Mouse talk?
No. Okay, who does talk?
Sometimes they have a Mickey Mouse that talks.
Sometimes.
But it's usually like pre-recorded stuff.
Anna and Elsa better call me.
Yeah, every single character better be up with the deal.
They better all know.
So, is anybody okay, first of all, I guess we should start by saying our last episode we were recorded in person, so that was very fun.
That was fun.
This week is still going to be a little bit different than our normal format, which will be fun. We'll get into that a little bit later. But here we are again. I kind of forgot like how to record because we had like a 2-week span where we haven't recorded.
It's been a week and a half because we recorded early last time, and now we're recording a couple days late this week.
And we had a different situation last time. And
yeah, I know.
We haven't done this around our desk thing for a couple weeks now. Strangely.
Yeah. So I did think that, our last episode, we did a live, like a dissertation reaction, which was really fun. If you haven't listened to it yet, everybody should go and listen to it. And we need people to be reviewing our podcast. So friends and fam that are listening to this.
Even if you don't think we're funny, just pretend for a minute that we are 5-star funny.
The Apple.
We are funny, though.
Apple doesn't know the difference.
Apple doesn't know the difference whether you're telling the truth or lying. Tell them we're 5-star funny.
Yeah.
I'm at least 5-star funny. Kayla's like at least 4-ish star funny, and Jake is like a 3-star funny. Kayla's flipping me off right now.
That's as I told someone today, that's how I greet the people I love.
Well, yeah.
Even in my professional life, if I just say like, hey.
I have like a professional job. And
do you?
Today somebody was saying something. Yeah, I do. Somebody was saying something and I so badly wanted to give them the bird. Like that would have been my reaction if it was you saying whatever they were saying. But I couldn't because it was in a professional setting and I didn't want to like just turn around and give them like double birds. So that was really annoying and maybe I need a new job now.
Listen, see, here's the one pro of working in education that like, I can be funny with the kids and then the adults 9 out of 10 are like, we're not real professionals. Like today I shared my principal's lunch with her straight off of her plate.
I feel like most jobs you have those people that you have a better rapport with. You can do.
I feel like I have a lot of those people. Though.
You do have a lot of those people. I do know that. But I mean, I felt like when I was working in an office that there was a good amount.
I'm like, no one ordered me any lunch, and she's like, I'm not going to finish this. Grab a fork. I'm like, don't have to tell me twice.
I have like 2 employees that have worked for me for like 6 years now. Like that's a pretty big rapport,
Yeah, but you're still very like formal-ish with them.
But I can do a lot of jokes with them though too. With those 2 in particular.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely have my ones that I can joke with. Although I did find out today that one of the people that I have a great relationship with is took a different job.
No.
So she put in her resignation. So I'm so sad because it was like somebody that like we had the same, we work in a really conservative climate. So a lot of the people that we work with are conservative. And like the county that we're in is really conservative. So like we have to make a little bit more conservative choices and stuff like that. And so there's like a handful of people that we all know are not conservative. And so those are our people, you know? Yeah. And so
ducks fly together.
Moving on. Yeah.
Listen, I feel like it's like we live in Kentucky. It's very conservative all around, but like at least one of the schools where I work at is very much not. Like our district though as a whole, like our superintendent is not like she's.
Yeah, that is interesting. Well, yeah. I don't want to say person, but they just had to sign a statement that.
I don't know if it's like all superintendents nationally. That was a national thing. Superintendents had to sign, like, in order to continue to receive federal funding, that they are, not going to do any kind of like DEI programs. Like all superintendents. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the superintendent here put out a statement saying, like,
I'm signing this under duress, basically.
But because I have no option to get the funding.
Yeah. Like, we need this money to take care of our students. But I'm not happy about having to do this. I'm like, good for you, bro.
Right. Being in higher education, obviously, it's really volatile right now, too.
I bet.
And, our president has said multiple times, like, there's a lot of things that we won't agree with personally. And but like my job is to like make sure that this college is here for another 100 years. And so like due to that, I have to follow what they're saying. And so like they've had to change a lot of things, and he's not happy about it, but he's not allowed to have an opinion about it either. Like he plays, the
diplomatic,
has to be political about it.
Yeah, I was
diplomatic. Yeah,
I was happy that our superintendent like put out a statement about like.
It was a very strong statement.
It was a very strong statement.
It was.
I was pretty happy about it. I was like, okay.
You're like, blink twice if you're okay, and they don't blink at all, then they don't blink at all.
Listen,
their eyes dry out. Yeah.
One of the teachers that works in my hallway, and we were spitballing ideas a couple weeks ago, which turned into us organizing. I did the graphics and the social media to organize like a local protest, which was really fun. And then I came in on Monday, and a lady that works in our office, she's like, "Hey, I saw you at the square on Saturday. I see you." And I'm like, okay, now I know we're on the same page. I like that.
Yeah.
She's like,
That's
I
how
see
you
you.
can find out.
I'm like, okay. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. We have some breaking news. What's the noise, Jake? Pizza Balla did not get elected as the Pope.
Pope update.
Very important. Pope update. I would like everyone to know that like I had that thing live streaming. Like there's like 5 of us in one of the offices when it like came through that there was like white smoke, and I'm like, white smoke. And so someone's like quick pulling it up on their computer so we can watch like the live news feed. We're all like waiting, and like so I had it on my phone I had to like leave to go to my next school. So I had it on my phone the entire way, and then they started like making the announcement when I like got to the parking lot. So I like sat in the parking lot to like listen to everything before like it was a whole thing. Yeah, it wasn't any of my front runners.
I know. I was pretty surprised. Actually, I've been telling so many people about your spreadsheet because, it's like the topic. Like the Pope was the topic.
It was.
And they're like a literal spreadsheet. I'm like, yeah, I want to see it. And so I showed them. They're like, oh, but they don't have the
Oh, I do.
Pope Leo on the like, front runners. And I'm like, I know. It was.
They have a saying.
The Catholic Church surprised us.
Yeah, well, they have a saying that he who goes into conclave a pope leaves a cardinal, which basically like if you think this person's going to be pope, they're not.
Oh. Basically like don't get too cocky here, buddies.
Right. Like if you think you're going to be pope, you're not going to be the one that's the pope. It's the people that. Yeah. So he was on the list. He was on there. I would like it noted. I did have him on the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
He was just way down on the bottom with not a lot of information because it was an outside chance. But here we are.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Other breaking news, Jake.
I cannot.
The Catholic Church is now changing the communion host to 2 mini pizzas.
I hate both of you for all of these fucking Catholic jokes. I'm not even Catholic, but I'm so like into the Pope shit. All of you with your...
I'll join the church if they're going to give me pizzas.
They're not going to be gluten-free. You're going to shit yourself halfway through Mass. Mass is like 17 hours long.
Perfect. Then it gets me out of there. But at least I get the mini pizzas. Blessed by the Pope.
You're not getting a mini pizza.
Well, damn. Well, damn.
Well, damn.
I do also have...
Sorry, did you know that the city of Chicago, they were given a Pope before the Bears got a 4,000-yard passing quarterback?
Oh! Oh, burn!
Oh, burn.
That was
Pope
good.
Also is a White Sox fan, and he could not possibly say enough prayers to make the White Sox even remotely good.
Yeah, the White Sox paid for that last year. That's what they get for winning, 25 games or something like that all year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Something like that.
Y'all are hilarious.
Yeah. Thank you.
5-star funny.
5-star funny. And then has anybody else here been following the Diddy case?
Yes.
I can't imagine Jake following it, but I have been following it, and I have now on Sunday night, before the Diddy case started, I painted my nails white, and I feel like I need to.
Are you
take
having
this nail
a
polish
white
off.
party? Like that's
what Diddy required all the women to paint their fingernails white for freak offs.
You gotta change that color.
I gotta take it off. So now I've been like all self-conscious because my nails are white, so I'm like not holding my hands out because I don't want people to realize, why did I do this? Why did I welcome the white nails? I mean, it looks cute, but I gotta take them off.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Listen, I had to, I guess it was this fall. One of the many things that I've had to ban students from saying for either annoyance or whatever, one of the things I had to ban my middle schoolers from saying was Diddy party.
Oh, God.
Thankfully, they've gotten over that. That trend has passed. And I'm like, no, we're not. We're not.
Well, it's probably going to circle back around and something else is going to come up.
Oh, something
The
else always
Diddler
comes
or
up.
something.
I'm thankful that our kid really doesn't say a whole lot of the trendy things.
No.
There's one thing in particular. I know exactly.
There's 2 things in particular.
Really, 2? I can only think of the one.
What does she say?
Bruh.
Sus?
Bruh.
She says bruh all the time.
Anytime I'm
that's
like,
about it.
Says that,
I'm like, all right, time to go to school. Get your shoes on. Bruh.
It's bros for everything.
Bruh. I have any sense of disappointment. Also, that's poopy.
Oh, yeah, she does say that.
We get that's poopy.
Is that a
lot.
thing like with the kids? I just thought that was one of her things.
A little bit of both. It has kind of phased out with my children, but it was like poopy. It's a little bit of both.
Oh,
She has embodied that as her own thing. It has.
Yeah.
That's poopy. I'm like, well,
I'd slap her, that's poopy halfway across the room.
But she only says the other stuff like in a way like I would, like as a joke type of thing.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I can deal with.
I just keep telling her,
bruh.
I'm like, you keep calling me bruh, I'm gonna be your bruh, and bruhs don't pay your bills.
Ooh. Yeah, Zeke says bruh all the time.
Bruh.
And also, before the last thing I have before getting into our topic this week, Felix started T-ball, and it was the cutest fucking thing you've ever seen.
Oh my God, that tiny video of him running in the wrong direction.
Isn't it so funny?
Go home. Home.
Oh,
he runs
God.
like fully out of view, and then all of a sudden he just bolts back across the field. It's so
He was running to
classic
third
and
base.
So
Okay,
funny.
did you see it?
Show, no,
okay, he hit the ball and then ran towards third base.
Great.
And everybody's like yelling, and then he just like turns around and he's like running with his hands flat. So he's like trying to like go really, really fast. He's actually pretty fast, but like him running with his hands flat and like moving his arms so fast is hilarious and so cute.
How many times did you cry while watching?
A couple. And then we went from that to Zeke's lacrosse youth night, where they brought all of the youth program out on the field during halftime of the senior varsity game.
Oh.
And then I was really sobbing when they were like, number 58, Zeke. I was like,
I need to bring you, two of the 8th grade teachers at one of my schools for Teacher Appreciation Week, which was last week. Would y'all get me?
Nothing.
Favorite teacher in your life? Absolutely nothing. Cool story. Anyways, I don't get much anyways. I'm a middle school teacher. I don't get a lot of gifts. Anyways, two of the 8th grade teachers at one of my school have their kids like write letters to a teacher that has made an impact, and like they're long. I have not gotten through all of them because I keep fucking tearing up. Like I have a stack.
Aw.
And they are precious. I need to bring them for you to read. You'll
How are you
lose
doing,
your
Kelsey,
mind.
hearing about that?
What?
How are you doing hearing about that? Kayla getting all these letters.
I'm okay right now. So the thing is that we should tell our listeners is that I cry over
Everything. Anything.
Anything. I mean,
She
and
cried
the
watching the
thing
Kentucky Derby. She's not from Kentucky. She doesn't give a shit about horses.
I did cry during. I cried a lot during the Kentucky
A
Derby.
lot. You cried watching like race cars with like Formula One with Jake one time. We have that on
I
Just
video.
a random race when the guy won at the end.
Random fucking
I was
race.
like in my living room. I wasn't
Yeah.
even in person.
No.
I was in my living room and I was crying. Like I just cry so easily, and you know I haven't always been like this.
But I feel like it's
know
almost not.
always
It's like
been in my
not even
blood.
for like sad things. It's just for like anything like heartwarming
It's like
almost.
It's like a heartwarming, overwhelmed thing. And for so many years, you know, in my like 20s, when I was like miserable and depressed and in a terrible relationship, I had to always be tough, and I never cried over anything ever. And now that I'm like in this phase of my life, I just let it go.
Do it.
Like I don't hold like it just. I cry so easily. I mean, I cry if my kid looks at me and says, "I love you, mommy." Like, which makes sense. That makes sense. But like everything. I mean, my college that I work at, we have graduation this weekend, and I was helping set up the graduation setup, and somebody was like, "Okay," and then the students will start here and walk across, and I was like, oh, "That's just so. It's gonna be so emotional."
Hey, I've got one for you. Ella is graduating this weekend.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is she walking a stage somewhere?
So here's the thing. She's been homeschooled the last year just because that's kind of worked out the best for her. So she is graduating at a school, but it's because we're renting out space in one of my schools and throwing her having a whole ceremony. We have a diploma. We've got people like doing music. We've got like, it is a whole graduation, but it's like just for her.
Aw. That's sweet.
It'll be cute. Never thought we'd make
That'll
it
be
here.
really cute. That's so wild. That's gonna make me start crying right now.
There it is. I know.
Because it's like I remember her being like 2 years old and like starting to walk, and like she wasn't going to walk. Like they said that she probably wasn't gonna walk, and like she was walking. I remember like I don't think we went to like some Easter brunch or something with your family.
Yes.
And I remember like walking with her around that room that we were in, and just like barely keeping up with her.
Yeah.
You know,
Huh.
I mean, I would have been like 17 at that point, right? When she was 2.
I can't math.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yep. She wasn't supposed to walk. She wasn't supposed to talk. And now she's here graduating high school. Like, legitimately. She's a great reader. You should hear that kid read.
Aw.
It's precious.
I love that.
All right.
Well, okay, so let's get this ball rolling. So this week we are going to talk about a listener requested topic that was written in / it's a friend, so she texted me, but it sounds better when it's a listener requested.
We just get so many listener questions, but we're gonna do one now.
So many. We technically did one. The subject of gifted burnout was also a listener suggested topic.
That's true.
So
we're just so popular.
Listen.
So I'll start with like reading maybe. Should I read like her question?
Do it. Read what she texted. Read the whole bit.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So she says, I was going to ask what Jake's thoughts / feelings on the show, The Big Bang Theory, and have a feeling that maybe he doesn't like it, The Big Bang Theory. She said, just based on the negative comments I've seen about the show. But then it made me think of the idea of accuracy of shows like that, like Abbott Elementary for Kayla, and if you would be able to relate and speak on that. Like, I think that she's like kind of getting at like what the
portrayals
you know, like,
of like people in our
fields
careers in popular media.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about The Big Bang Theory, Abbott Elementary, whatever other shows you guys have thought of, and how they actually like what your thoughts are on them, how like accurate you think that these shows are, and kind of go from there.
Yeah, we'll just reform it, but I mean, I guess I'll just start off with the main question. I mean, I did like The Big Bang Theory, but couple things about that. Just me personally, I don't read a whole lot into a lot of like movies and TVs, or ever really get upset about how bad or good they are. Like I don't take me personally those things too seriously. So like, as I always enjoyed
Jake
it.
is Sheldon.
You think so?
No, I think you're Leonard, but with a spot on the couch.
Leonard, I don't even remember. It's been a long time since I watched
Leonard
them.
is Sheldon's roommate.
Okay, that is that. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm probably mostly like Leonard.
But with a spot on the couch.
But with a spot on the couch. Oh, I do have a spot on the couch. Yes, you're right.
Sheldon has his spot on the couch that he always has to
sit
at.
I kick our kid out of there, but I don't take it.
You have a spot on the couch.
I do have a spot on the couch.
Okay.
But, I mean, I do like it. I will say...
Is that like an autism thing?
Maybe. To a degree. I don't know. I just pick that spot.
Kayla's nodding yes.
I'm nodding yes lovingly. Like I
will say I didn't see much of like the last few seasons of it, and I think that's usually where people get upset about TV shows when they're kind of once they've jumped the shark or something like that.
I'm sorry, what?
You never heard the term "jump the shark"?
No.
Do you know? You've never heard the term "jump the shark"?
No, Kelsey, have you?
What do you think? No, I never heard any terms.
Just checking. I'm making.
There's this very specific reason why they call it jumping the shark.
I'm gonna need you
jump
to
the shark.
Jump the shark.
I'm gonna need you to explain this.
Well, this is a whole tangent.
Okay, you explain it, and then I'm gonna look it up.
Jump the shark is the kind of the turning point when a TV series takes a downturn.
Okay.
And it's usually like a specific thing that people are just like, okay, that was too much. Now you've gone too far. So,
okay.
And it comes from Happy Days, the TV show.
Really?
Because Fonzie, the character,
in
an episode, was like, I don't know if he was just surfing or he was doing like water skiing or something like that. And
well, considering it's in Milwaukee, I'm assuming it was water skiing.
You never seen a TV show where the characters go to like a different state or anything?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I don't know the exact setting, but he was surfing or water skiing, but like his character literally jumped over a shark, and it was so crazy. People were kind of like, that was the first show where they were like, that was so outrageous.
And you're
this
done.
is completely different from like why the show is popular and everybody likes it type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's what they call jumping the shark. That's the term that they use for like every show when it kind of takes a downturn. So I think I only really ever watched Big Bang Theory pre jumping the shark. I don't know if there was an exact downturn, but I always liked everything that I saw on there. I think from what I've inferred that it got away from the not grad students technically, but it got away from like the education, like professor type stuff.
It was much more relationship-y.
Moving more into the relationship type stuff.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I get. And that's what I did like about it. And that's what a lot of the people that I, in the same circles as myself liked about it at the time. I mean, I was going through college when it was just starting out and really huge. Like in its first couple seasons. And I had a lot of professors that said that they really liked it and thought that it did a really good job of portraying like the personalities of a lot of those type of people like in physics and what the life of somebody who's doing that type of work looks like.
Yeah. And like that aside from work, it's just like what the life of just somebody who's really, really smart is too. Because I feel like, people all, it's so easy in like society so quickly like stereotypes really, really smart people as nerds. And that like becomes their entire personality, and like or not or like people just think that they don't have a personality because of that.
May I introduce you
pointing at Jake
to Dr. Jacob W. Berg, the nerd with a doctorate,
the ultimate nerd. But
I say he'll admit it. Like, I'm not saying
I
anything.
mean, I'm pretty nerdy. I don't think I'm the most nerdy though.
No, but you definitely are on the nerd side of the scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like I feel like it gave like a good light to like nerds, quote unquote nerds, and like that they are actually like really interesting and cool and like can have relationships and can be successful and can do, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jake...
all things that non-nerds
You're
do.
Right.
I don't know if Jake can have a relationship. Last night he told me he wouldn't admit that he's ever been in love, so...
He's a big
Controversial.
nerd, so don't listen to him.
And you're right, Kelsey. I do think that it is I think that show in particular was a big reason of like where like being smart became cool in like the 2010s to 2020 type of thing to a degree. I mean, just look at like D&D now is huge,
very mainstream.
I mean, that was like the ultimate nerd thing for so long, and in the last, I mean, like fantasy stuff is like the biggest Kickstarters that they've ever had on the platform. Like Critical Role, that does like a every week does like a show where they're playing D&D.
It's literally all they're doing. It's just like a video of them playing D&D.
Yeah, at the time.
Sounds riveting.
I mean, like, here's the thing.
Really
all
good,
of them are
actually.
like voice actors that do it. So it's
Critical Role's incredible.
It's phenomenal.
Every person that's playing it is a professional voice actor. And like, I mean, it became their job. So like the guy that runs it, it's like all he does is planning for it and all this stuff. And D&D is really huge right now. And I think like Big Bang Theory can be pointed to some degree for like kind of lighting that match to make some of these nerd stuff to really blow up.
I feel like D&D is cool, is in to the degree that it currently is a Stranger Things effect.
Yeah, Stranger Things helped too.
Is D&D cool? I guess I haven't heard that.
It is.
It's cool.
It is. But I was saying like that at the time, Critical Role did a Kickstarter because they were going to make an animated series out of the campaign that they played, and they were raising money, and it was basically like the more money we raise, the more episodes we can make, and they ended up raising like $12 million on Kickstarter for that show.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now I think like the third season of that just came out. Yeah.
Good for them.
So,
speaking of nerd things, do you remember that game that we used to play called I think it was called like Hero Clicks or like something like that?
I remember that.
Is that what it was called? Yeah. For some reason I thought about those the other day and I was like, it was this like nerd game.
It was HeroClix was pretty fun. It's like you had like a little figurine, and they had mainly like Marvel and DC characters, and the figurine had like a little circular base.
Okay.
But it had like, there's like a circular piece of paper inside of it with a little window, and this base could spin.
Okay.
And it would have like numbers and abilities on it. And so then you'd have like a grid map, and you'd have like your team on this side and your opponent's team on that side. And you like roll your dice and you could move your characters, and then they would fight, and you'd like click them like when they got hurt and stuff like that, and it would change like their abilities.
This feels like a combination of like D&D, Magic, and board games.
I mean, it's just another tabletop game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun.
It was pretty fun.
It was like super nerdy,
cool.
But it was fun. And those things were fun to collect because they would be range in a whole bunch of different prices and stuff. And I think you get like mystery bags sometimes. You just like get whatever thing the game store would give you.
Yeah, I mean, they were like booster packs of cards, but they were like figurines where there's like 6 figurines in this box. And, like there's rare ones that you could get.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So you're not opposed to the Big Bang Theory? You think shows
No,
like that
I mean,
are,
as far as what,
or you think that show specifically they did a good job?
Yeah.
In that show, I mean, obviously I didn't pay that close of attention. In the episodes that you have seen, is the physics of it fairly accurate?
So I do know that they like hire actual physicists to like help them put physics stuff up on like whiteboards and stuff like that. I think there was a handful of plot things about physics. So I mean, I don't know. 'Cause I think the main thing of at the end of the show is that Sheldon wins a Nobel Prize for some work that he's doing. So I imagine they had to kind of make something up for that. But I think for the most part, the physics is sound. I mean, I never took time to like pause the screen and look at it. But there's
You didn't
definitely
fact check them?
no. But I mean, there's stuff where like in the background be like, oh, I recognize that graph, or I recognize the equation, or something like that. So I know like somebody who knows what their stuff is they have on staff, and I've heard that they hire people for that.
They're not totally bullshitting.
No.
That's awesome. It's awesome.
And I mean, like Stephen Hawking was on one episode.
Oh yeah.
And it was pretty big. And they've had so many like the really famous nerd people on the show.
Will Wheaton.
I mean, he was on the show
nemesis.
a lot. He was on the show a lot. Yeah. Well,
I'm looking up Big Bang Theory jokes to see if there was any like really prominent physics jokes that Jake would maybe think are funny.
What you got?
Well,
sounds like nothing.
Not much. There's this one where Penny had a different guy like coming to visit her or something, and he had big muscles, and one of Sheldon, I think, says if he were any bigger he'd have moons orbiting him. Har har har. Funny.
That was
a little cheap.
That one sounds that one was like
not funny. Yeah.
I'm sure they're
like
aware. I just don't know. The internet is.
I mean, I'll say, and it's not like they don't have like knock jokes. Like it's all like situational. Like you have to be watching.
Right.
It.
I think a lot of people wouldn't even catch it if they don't know if they don't know. Like I wouldn't probably hear the joke and think, "Oh, that's funny," like because I don't know the terms and stuff.
Yeah.
You didn't like learn them all from reading Jake's thesis last week, his dissertation?
No, I didn't. I did not retain a single thing. I have no idea what I even read. I couldn't tell you.
Did you retain anything?
Some equation.
Did you retain anything from mine?
If I dug down really deep,
wow,
I could tell you.
Jacob, I don't even think we matter to her.
Seems like it.
I just have retention issues. Don't worry, it's not you. It's me.
Okay,
but,
well,
I mean,
best of luck on your console table. Like we don't even matter to you.
Yeah, you matter. But,
I mean, I think probably smartly that they didn't really make the actual hardcore physics like a big part of the show. Like that was more of a vehicle to put the characters into different situations. I mean, there's some things that are science related. I mean, like Howard goes to space at one point, and like he was an engineer on equipment that was used by NASA and stuff like that. So it's like stuff that I think is pretty easily explained in terms of like what it's doing or whatever. And I think it really became more of a nerd fandom type thing, with different fictional stuff more so than like a physics thing. It's just that like these characters happen to have physics degrees or engineering degrees type of thing. I mean, they talk about Sheldon being a theorist pretty often, but I mean, I know that there's a couple times where they get into like him actually doing theoretical work, but they don't explain what he's actually doing. I don't think really.
Who's it? Is it Howard that doesn't have a doctorate that they make fun of?
Yeah, they make fun of him for only having a master's degree.
He only has a master's degree.
What a dummy.
Right?
Yeah. So wait, what's the difference between a theorist and a physicist? Speaking of dummies.
Well, nothing between a theorist.
A theorist is a type of physicist. It's kind of two main things: is theorist and experimentalist.
So what would you consider yourself?
Experimentalist. Because I was analyzing the data that was taken by an experiment to determine like
theorist
what happened
is literally
in those
just
experiments.
like the theory.
Yeah.
And the ideas behind it.
So they just make shit up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. I should have become a theorist.
But I mean, theorists are important because they have to come up with the ideas and ways to describe things so that the experimentalists can take those to try to prove that something that they've theorized is in reality or not.
And then experimentalists take all that information and, analyze their experimental data. And then people with an EDD actually take information and do shit.
Oh, sure.
Those are the ones that teach it to the people to continue to grow society.
Those are the ones that try to actually do something.
Okay.
When we had a like summer program that all of us in like the doctoral program had to go to. And that's the one thing that like even the professors were talking about. The key difference between a PhD and an EDD is knowing versus doing. PhD is about knowing and gathering knowledge, and EDD is more about application and doing something. You can't tell me I'm wrong there. I'm not saying that you're stupid. I'm just saying PhD's about knowing, EDD's about doing. He can be offended all he wants. Okay. He still has to go sleep in the same bed as me. It'd be fine.
I mean, he could sleep in a different place in your house.
He could sleep on the couch. That's fine. I'll sleep starfish style.
So back on topic about Big Bang Theory. I was just gonna say that when Stephen Hawking was on was probably one of my favorite jokes that they had there. I don't remember exactly the wording, but like Stephen Hawking is coming to visit Sheldon because he had some like monumental theory thing that he had accomplished, and Stephen Hawking was gonna like review it or something like that, and he like goes to meet Stephen Hawking, and he says something like, "Oh, what you've done here would be really significant, except for the math error you made on page 2." And so, so he's like has all this stuff, and it didn't, wasn't valid because he made a error at the very beginning. So, I was saying about last week about how like my homework would be like 10 pages. If you like make one small mistake at the top, that flows through the entire thing. So that was always one.
Because that's how math works. Yeah. Very funny. Wow, I'm laughing hysterically.
Yeah, clearly.
Funny joke.
This is why.
But remember, that was Stephen Hawking, like with his computer voice, was doing this, like actual Stephen Hawking.
So here's the thing: I didn't actually know who Stephen Hawking was until you just said his computer voice thing.
Oh.
We should have called this podcast Doc Goose.
Yep.
I just have I just don't I know who Stephen Hawking is. Like if I saw him on TV, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's Stephen Hawking. Couldn't reference like anything that he's done. I don't know.
Have you seen? You should watch that movie. That movie would make her cry.
Yeah, a lot.
The Theory of Everything. Go ahead and watch that movie.
Nope.
Go ahead and watch it.
Where is it? What streaming service am I going to have to steal from you guys?
Hang on. I'll let you know here in a second. You all keep talking. I'll look.
So that's like Big Bang Theory. Like I said, I think later seasons got more into like the relationship stuff and kind of maybe lost its identity about where it came from, which I don't know. That's fine. I mean,
typical, yeah.
It's pretty typical, and I mean, once you're on TV for so long, I don't blame anybody for running out of ideas. I was gonna say though, like other shows that kind of have like some physics-based background stuff. Like Futurama was always one of my favorite shows. I don't know if you've ever watched any of that, Kelsey, but
I used to watch it like late at night when there was nothing else on. We only had like however many channels that would get down to our bedrooms when we were kids, and sometimes Futurama would be on, but I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, that was another one that they would hire physicist once in a while to like make sure equations were correct in the background and stuff like
Are
that.
they scientists in that or what?
In Futurama?
Yeah.
Like one character is technically, but I mean it takes place in the future, so like a lot of the stories revolve around like weird science-y ideas and concepts and stuff like that, because they're like having to fly their spaceship to different places all the time.
Oh.
Then there's
Yeah, I
like
don't remember
time
that.
paradox stuff a lot, and yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that comes up in that.
Wait, I have a question for you, Jake.
Yeah.
Do you believe in time travel?
Define time travel.
Like that there's like time travelers that jump from different times and know information from other...
Can we talk? And since we're talking about like physics and pop culture, media, whatever, Interstellar, ready, go.
I liked Interstellar.
Have you seen Interstellar, Kelsey?
No,
Jesus
not a clue.
H. Anyways,
That
the theory
one had
of
a lot of
everything
good-
is not available to stream
right
anywhere.
now.
It's only renting, so maybe we can rent it when we come up this summer and we can all watch
good.
it. It's good.
Okay.
Emmy would probably like that one too. Like Emmy could sit and watch Theory of Everything with us. Honestly, we
Cool.
could watch it during the day with the boys running around. Like it's good.
Yeah, I'll watch it. That sounds good. You act so surprised that I haven't seen many things, but I literally watch Sex and the City or Gilmore Girls. Any moment that I have like free to watch a show, that's what I'm watching. So I got to change it up a little bit.
Interstellar. You can stream Interstellar on Hulu or Paramount Plus.
Cool. Both streaming services that I already mooch off of you guys.
Perfect.
Interstellar was good. I thought there are some interesting things that they tried to make as close to reality as possible. The kind of finale of it all is kind of the time travel that doesn't work, at least in my opinion.
That was basically my question when we started talking about time travel.
The going backwards. The time travel is a weird thing because like I think you could time travel going forward, but it's really not time travel. It's really just going really, really fast, close to the speed of light. Type
And
of
it wouldn't
thing.
be enough to like fast forward in history,
Well, it gets into a whole relativity topic. You in a sense fast forward, but it's because you're going so much faster than people relative to you. That's just how physics works with relativity and approaching the speed of light. So like going forward, you can kind of time travel, but I don't think you can go. There's no way to go backwards as far as we understand right now.
Okay, I want to put a pin in this because this is very close to the topic I was going to suggest for next week, so we can pause this whole conversation.
Okay, yeah.
I do have one question, and if it relates to your topic that you're proposing, slap me.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about the movie Lightyear, the new Buzz Lightyear movie?
I haven't seen it, and I have no idea like what you're referring to. So,
oh, you should watch it. It's actually really good. But he does like space travel, and he's trying to like beat a certain. I don't know. You have to watch it. Trying to beat like a certain time to get through something or other, whatever, and he like gets back to their planet or Earth or whatever. It's like the story of Buzz Lightyear, of like why Buzz Lightyear was a toy in Toy Story, and it like shows him like staying the same age, but everybody else back on Earth or wherever they are ages, and he like gets back and they're like, he's like, how long has it been? And they're like, oh yeah, it's been 25 years.
Yeah.
You need to watch Interstellar.
Okay, anyways, so you just got done telling me that I should see Interstellar.
Interstellar sounds like the grown-up version of Lightyear.
Oh, well, sorry. We just had some technical difficulties and Kelsey's call dropped for a second, but we're back. And you were saying in Lightyear how he had like been on a spaceship and got back, and he was asking how long he had been gone, and they were saying like 25 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real.
What?
That's real.
What?
Okay, hang on. We need to... Oh, my God. Because I don't want you to talk too much about this.
Yeah. Okay.
We need to back up here. So, what do you mean it's real?
Like, that's what would happen if you left on a spaceship and went really, really fast and then came back, that your time would seem to pass normally and you might only experience hours, days, or a year or something like that. But when you came back, that everybody else's time would have gone faster relative to you. That's why it's called relativity.
Oh my God. Has anybody ever done this in real life?
No, we can't get things that fast.
Oh.
But I mean, I don't know. It sounds like we're creeping on the topic that we're going to talk about next week a lot. So
okay. I see.
I've got a lot of interesting things to say about that topic.
Perfect.
So.
I'm here for it. I need you to put a pin in it, though.
But yeah, actually, Stephen Hawking, he threw a party and he didn't announce it until after it, and it was a time traveler's party. And he's like, I threw a time traveler party, and that only time travelers would have known after I announced this right now, so that they would have traveled back and been at my party. And obviously, nobody showed up. But so, yeah.
Kelsey's face says, I don't quite understand.
I mean, I'm following-ish. I don't.
You threw a party and had the party.
You would do that
to see if anyone was in the future was able to figure out about time travel.
Because the people in the future would know about his party taking place at some point in time. Travel back and go to his party.
Like Jake knows that the party happened, so if he's just figured out how to time travel tomorrow,
I could go to
he could go to the party.
Oh, I see. How would that change our future? We're getting into some really deep shit here.
We need to pipe down on this topic. Jesus, y'all. Ruining everything.
That's like the kind of the main thing that gets explored in a lot of these physics type background movies and TV and stuff like that.
I guess that's an easy topic to like build a storyline around.
Yeah.
Which brings validity back to our original thing of the Big Bang Theory, and it's just like essentially normalizing like super, super nerdy people and showing that they can have normal lives too.
Yep.
See, Jake, it is possible for you to have a normal life.
No, it's not. He's married to you.
Shut up. You're stuck with me too, bitch.
I know. But at least
forever and ever.
True. Okay, well, cool. That was kind of fun. I hope that answers Angela's question. And if there's any spin-off questions from anybody else, send them our way.
After you review our podcast.
We'll do you're only allowed to send us questions now. Yes, leave the question in the review. You can only ask us questions in a review. That's the only way. And honestly, to all of our friends and family, if you're not going to review us, then we're done with you.
Okay.
No, we're not. Okay, so then on the other side of things, we're going to talk about education, and the suggested show was like Abbott Elementary. So Kayla, if you want to just talk about that and the accuracy of like these education shows, and if you think that they're beneficial, like for me as like a parent of young children, I mean, we've fallen off the technology train. Like I used to try to like make sure my kids only watched educational things, and now I don't fucking care. So they just watch whatever shit they, it's age appropriate still, but like right. I'm not trying to like make them watch Daniel Tiger anymore. But like, do you think that these shows are valid, and do you think that like in an educational sense, like it sets students up to be more successful watching those shows versus Spidey, or whatever?
So Abbott Elementary, I've watched like the first 2 seasons of Abbott Elementary, but it's been like a minute. Did you watch any of it with me?
Not really.
Oh man, you're missing out. It has a Quinta Brunson, isn't it?
I don't know what
is
that
it a PBS show?
Jesus. Abbott Elementary?
Yeah.
No, I think it's like ABC.
Like
it's like a sitcom.
Oh.
It's like
Is it a cartoon? I don't know anything about it.
No, this is not that kind of educational show. We don't care about kids. It's like about an elementary school. It's about the teachers. It's set up kind of like almost like The Office, where it's like a mockumentary type thing. But it's teachers. It's a school.
So It's a live view of what your school is.
In the weirdest and most extreme way. Like, it's a farce. Like, I feel like it takes a lot of like the issues and stuff that we see and like puts it to the extreme. There's one episode where all the kids are obsessed with a new trend called desking, where they're like jumping from desk to desk during like in class or whatever. And so they do this whole thing of like trying to figure out which kids are desking because they're trying to desk behind the teacher's back. It's a whole like, it's a lot. Like it's not that serious, but I think it's very in line with like trying to keep up with all the whatever TikTok trend is the latest and greatest that kids are trying to do. Currently the TikTok trend, sure. the current school related TikTok trend is to try to shove pencil lead into the USB port of your Chromebook to make it start on fire.
Oh my God. What?
Big facts.
That's all.
There's all kinds of like TikTok trends. There was one, I think last year, maybe the year before, it might have been like 2 years ago. The TikTok trend was to like destroy your school bathroom. Like not just like, oh, I'm going to like graffiti on the bathroom stall, like pull the sink from the wall.
What?
Yes. Our
students were actually doing that?
We had like 2 bathrooms where they pulled the soap dispenser off the wall. So much less dramatic, but yeah.
Wow, that's a facilities nightmare.
Tell me about it. But yeah, right now it's shoving pencil lead into the USB port of the Chromebook to try to make it set on fire.
Does it work?
Schools have been
TikTok.
Mm-hmm, there are like actual news stories. There are schools that have been like evacuated because like it's toxic smoke. Like not in Kentucky. Hang on, I gotta find it. I'm gonna have to find it. I'm gonna keep talking while I find it.
Who does that?
I don't know.
Obviously kids, I guess, like dumb fucking kids. But like
anything for clicks, and then
for real,
forget the ramifications of the people who copy you.
Right. Yeah, that's wild. I mean, my TikTok feed is so rated MA that I don't get any of these like education things.
Here we go. This is from the New York Times. I just found it. Students are short-circuiting their Chromebooks for a social media challenge. That's from 9 hours ago from the New York Times. Some students have been suspended and even criminally charged as some of the computers catch fire or damage surroundings.
Oh my gosh.
I think a lot of this is like, oh, that's not what's going to actually happen. And then they do it and like, oh, that's what happens.
Wow.
Teen charged after laptop fire. Colorado firefighter school warned about TikTok. Yeah, like we got a whole email about it a couple weeks ago. School had to be there it is. School had to be evacuated in Connecticut. Like the whole school had to be evacuated because of this. So yeah, like obviously, you know.
Didn't your school district just post on Facebook in like the last week about something?
Probably about the same thing.
I didn't think it was this one, but there was something that they posted. But anyway, we should get back to the
But like I would say, yeah, but the TV show like that there's also, I mean, there's some episodes earlier in where like some of the teachers in there are doing like trying to make viral videos to like raise money for school supplies. Never has anything been more real in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm thankful that the departments that I work in, the people that do the ordering, I can be like, hey, I need 500 pencils. And they'll be like, bet they'll be here tomorrow. But for real, like it's.
No, you used to have somebody that worked there that was real stingy about that stuff.
I did. We had a running joke. Like if you wanted, I would go down and I would need staples. Can I get some staples? Okay. If you were in charge of supplies and someone asked you for staples, what would you give them?
Staples.
A box of staples.
Is that the right answer? Yeah, a box of staples.
A box of staples. No, we would get what we like to call a slice, which was a row of staples.
That you would go through and then have to walk back down to the
I know, I'd go through in like 3 minutes.
More,
I'm like, I'm stapling 200 packets. Like
just a taste of the good stuff to get you started.
Just a taste of the get out of here. Yeah, no, it is about the Chromebooks.
That's how they get you coming back. That's how they get you coming back.
That's from the my schools. It says, yeah.
Bleep.
Oop. Bleep that out. bleep it, bleep that out. Yeah, no, the school district just posted about, like, make good choices. If anyone damages a Chromebook, you could hurt yourself, you could start a fire, you'd face consequences from law enforcement and your school. So, like, it's a thing.
You hear that, kids? So all your 8th graders that are listening, don't do anything stupid. Got it?
Don't do anything stupid. Like, it's... Like, but why?
Take it from somebody who did a lot of really stupid stuff in 8th grade and beyond. It's not worth it. You'll regret it.
But, like, I'll say the principal in Abbott Elementary is super far-fetched and just, like, super obsessed with herself and with her outfits and with, like, social media in, like, a weird way. Where
these are
like,
all TV shows at the end of the day.
Yeah, where that's, like, unrealistic. But then, like, some of the, obviously, I mean, it's like a 30-minute sitcom. Like, you're not going to cover, and it's not going to be super accurate, but I feel like a lot of the topics that they try to address, so, like, this, quote, desking trend and teachers needing school supplies, and there's an episode where one of the teachers is having a really hard time getting in contact with a parent, and she has concerns about a student. Like, the foundation and the things that they address are absolutely, like, accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I enjoy more than Abbott Elementary. If anyone's into the teacher sitcom dramas, Jake and I watched The English Teacher.
Yeah,
with
I love that one.
Brian Jordan Alvarez.
Yeah, we mentioned that last time.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
That show was amazing. And I loved...
Was it a series or is it a movie?
It's a series.
Season 2 is, I think they're
it's
filming
on
or they
Hulu?
just finished. It was on Hulu.
It was on Hulu. There you go, Kelsey. You're already stealing it. Go ahead and watch it.
It's called what? The English
teacher?
English teacher.
And he's a nice high school English teacher. He's also, like, quasi-openly gay. He's gay in real life, and he as a teacher is also gay, and so that's a lot of what they... There's some parts
but
that
it's
they
in
address.
Austin, Texas, so it's like... It takes place in Austin, Texas, so that's like a big element of like the conservative and football culture while he's a gay guy as a teacher.
Yeah. That one almost feels
Really
more
really
realistic to me than like Abbott Elementary. Like Abbott Elementary it's goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like it'll make me cry.
English teacher is great. Oh,
The
for
English
sure.
teacher.
Some of it, yes.
For sure. But there's one episode where his students like are bullshitting an assignment and he fails them. He gives them all like F's and C's and like grades that they deserve, and their whole thing like, can you even do this? Are you allowed to give us an F? Like, you can't fail us. Like, that's not allowed. And like that whole sentiment is freaking hilarious because I feel like, and they're like,
and then the parents get involved.
Then the parents get involved, and that part is the part that, because it's like the minute a kid has a failing grade, a lot of the times, I'm not going to say all the time because I do have some fabulous parents who are like, what the fuck is wrong with my kid?
Yeah.
But then you also get the parents that are like, well, why are you failing them? Well, why are you failing them?
Surely you're doing something wrong, or you're not paying attention, or you have other kids in your class that are getting more attention. Surely.
Right. Or then I get the opposite, where when I do have kids that are failing, and I'm like, hey, your kid's failing because they're missing 107 assignments, like crickets. Like, hello, knock, knock, trying to help.
Yeah.
But
the principal is pretty funny in that show, too.
Principal's really funny.
He's just completely fed up with everything constantly.
The PE teacher is really funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious. I think he won a couple awards for his acting.
Oh my
he's
God.
really good.
That one was...
Great. That sounds like a good show. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, you do.
There was an episode, too, where the PE teacher decides to have what is it, like, I don't know, like an NRA club, basically, and, like, doesn't tell everyone. So all of a sudden there's, like, gunfire outside of the building, and they're, like, going into lockdown, like, oh my God.
Only the guy, no, only the teacher. Yeah.
He's, like, pulling kids in the hallway, like, oh my God, get in here. Hilarious. They also have, they decide to do a powder puff football game. And Brian Jordan Alvarez's character, as the English teacher, hires his friend, a drag queen, to help the football boys dress up to be cheerleaders for this powder puff game. I
love that.
Hilarious.
I love that. Well, this week at one of my kids' schools, there is a fun run, which is like a tradition. We've done it every year since he's been in school. And they sent an email like, hey, we're still looking for volunteers. And so I went and looked at the volunteer list, and they're looking for somebody to wear Jacobus, which is our mascot. and it's like, we're seeking somebody to volunteer that's highly energetic and fun to be around. So I
Please tell me you volunteered
Kyle,
for that.
No, because I want to run it with Felix. Zeke can run it by himself. You know, he does fine running it by himself with his friends, but Felix likes to run it too, but he can't go by himself yet.
Right.
And so I texted Kyle, the kid's gunkle, and I was like, how do you feel about being Jacobus at school? And he's like, that would be so funny and amazing. But there's a scheduling conflict, so it doesn't work. But I'm like, that would have been so funny if Zeke's gunkle was the one in Jacobus. I mean, Zeke would have loved that so much. And Kyle would be so great and so fun doing that.
I'm sorry, what's a Jacobus? Can we go back to that?
You don't know what a Jacobus is?
No.
Yo, right here.
That's just the guy's name.
Yo, right here. Get out of here.
Jacobus.
Is that your Pope? Is that your Pope name?
Yeah.
Jacobus the First.
Pope Jacobus the First.
On the Pope note.
Pope
note.
Pope note.
It's I was meant to say, like, nobody's having any problem calling this guy by a new preferred name.
I know. I love all those jokes. Like, oh, apparently.
Ooh. Zinger.
Someone's had this name their whole life, but now they go by a new preferred name, and no one has a problem here.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, of course. Wow.
Love that. Anyways, so tell me about Jacobus.
Jacobus is the mascot. It's a jaguar. His name is Jacobus.
Oh, okay.
We just call it Jacobus. Actually, I have a picture of me wearing the Jacobus head. What did you think it was? Like, did it sound like something else?
I don't know.
Knowing that it's like a religious school, that I thought it was like somebody.
It's not a religious school. We're talking about Zeke's school.
Zeke's school?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Someone dressed up like the
Pope. It sounds like the Pope. I was envisioning somebody dressed kind of like the Pope.
I was thinking of
dressed up as the Pope. That would be an amazing mascot.
I was thinking of someone. I was thinking of some kind of like obscure antelope called a Jacobus.
No, I mean, I knew it was a name, but I thought it was Saint Jacobus.
Saint Jacobus.
The school's mascot.
Saint Jacobus of the Jaguars.
And it's dressed up like a pope.
Yeah.
With a pope hat.
It's a jaguar with a pope hat.
That would be.
Yep.
Honestly, this is a great idea. I'll share the idea with the person in charge.
You should.
I'm trying to find the picture of me wearing the Jacobus.
I'm gonna need this
costume. I can always just post it on our socials.
Kayla, can you describe like why you think that English teacher kind of portrayed teachers a little bit more realistically than like Abbott Elementary?
I feel like it's almost like the intention of how the show went into it, where like Abbott Elementary was aiming to be more of like a mockumentary comedy, like address some topics, but be more like funny and more farce and more out there. Where I feel like English teacher, although yes, like a comedy TV show, was trying to be more, I don't know, I feel like parts of that are a little bit more like heartfelt and a little bit more like meaningful and I don't know, I guess the way that teachers act is a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
Maybe it felt, I was saying maybe it's just a me thing where it felt more relatable to me because it was like upper level versus elementary school.
Yeah. What about
that makes sense.
What about Bad Teacher, the movie?
Cameron Diaz is everything I've ever thought about being as a teacher, but just can't.
I love that. I love that movie, actually.
Oh my God. Listen, her with
good.
like a stash of, oh my gosh.
That's me in the Jacobus head. There's a whole bodysuit that goes with it too. It smells so bad.
Put a Pope hat on that guy. He's a saint. Jesus. No, but like her with her like stash of mini bottles pulling in the TV being like, no one talk to me, I'm hungover. Like, it is everything
Justin
I've ever.
Timberlake was pretty hilarious.
Justin Timberlake was great.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
And like her trying to steal like test scores to get better than the better score than the teacher next door to her.
Yep.
Freaking hilarious. I have never thought about I'm so opposed to how we do standardized testing that I've never even thought about going that far. I'm just like, whatever. It's fine. Do your best. Okay, thanks.
Well, wasn't there like, well, in that movie,
There was like
she's
an
doing that
incentive
because
attached.
the
There's like there's
teacher
a
gets
bonus. She needed the bonus for her boob job.
That's right.
There
yeah.
it is.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
I'm not
That's why she was
incentivized
there.
because I don't need a boob job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's also right.
Right.
What'd you say?
That's also right.
The scene where he's like, it's raunchy, but he's like
Dry humping.
Yeah.
yes, and like trying to keep this PC, but we already have an explicit rating, so who
I was
cares?
like, why are we? What are we even here
and he
for?
like, gets the tiniest little like spot of cum on his pants. It's like it's just like the most pathetic.
Especially this time of year, I relate to her deeply. Like, guys, watch a movie.
Getting a tiny spot of cum on your pants?
Just guys, watch a movie. I'm hungover and napping behind the desk. I'm none of those things at school. I need that for the record. Never have I ever.
For legal reasons.
For legal reasons. But no, just the idea of just being completely unhinged, checked out teacher. We're at 7 days left in the school year. Like, yes.
Lucky you guys.
Yay.
We go mid-June.
I have 5 teacher work days after that yet, but kids only have 7 more days.
Nice.
There was what was I gonna say? It was gonna be something super relevant, and I forgot. It'll come back.
Did you say everything you wanted to say about like teachers and?
No, because I had something. Hang on. So so for Mother's Day, Taylor's idea was to take our mom to Wine Fest this past weekend.
Wow.
I know. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So you get like, so many little drink tickets, and like you have to pay an admission, and you get like little sample tickets, and you can go to whatever booth you want and get a sample of any of the wines that they have, but you only have, so many tickets. So I show up to school on Monday. One of my kids, I'm coming down the hallway to my room, another kid, Dr. Berg, my mom saw you at Wine Fest on Saturday. Good. Great. Perfect.
Why do we have to like pretend like teachers aren't?
I know.
Adults that have lives outside of
right.
school.
I know.
Like, look, listen, I am number 1 of age. Number 2, Jake was our DD. He dropped us, did not go to Wine Fest, dropped us off, went home, came back and picked us up. Like, I'm like, we did all the responsible things, but it was just like, my mom saw you at Wine Fest this weekend. And I'm like, cool. Great.
But the whole like, there's a picture of a teacher drinking on Facebook. Like,
yeah,
adults drink alcohol sometimes.
Correct.
Like,
yeah.
Correct.
I don't know. In my area, like I mean, I'm friends with some teachers on social media, and a lot of them post,
we're in the Bible Belt.
They probably have their stuff. Yeah, it's different. But that is funny though, like about like teachers not having a life outside of school. Zeke, the boys and I were going to meet a girlfriend that has 2 boys that my kids are friends with at the park, and it was my job to bring the mimosa supplies to the playground. And so we ran to the grocery store before going, and we come up to the line, like the checkout line, and one of Zeke's teachers was checking out, and he was like, "Oh my god, hi, whatever, so and so." And she was like, "Oh, hi, Zeke, how's your weekend going?" And he was like, "Oh, it's good. We had to come to the grocery store because my mom's making mimosas on the playground."
Zeke is like, totally that
kid. He is totally that kid.
My God.
I was like, God damn it.
Fuck. Meanwhile, the teacher is like, "Can I come?"
I know,
tells
right?
it
I was
straight.
like, and then he like blasted out the other mom, and he was like, "Yeah, and so and so's mom is coming too." So I was like, "Sorry." This teacher knows that we're drinking mimosas on the playground on a Sunday morning. So here we are.
As a teacher, she was jealous. She was like,
I'm sure, yeah.
"Can I come?"
But she said Zeke was like so shocked to see her. He's like, "I can't believe I'm seeing you at the grocery store." And she was like, "Well, I do have a life too now."
I am allowed to leave the school building after 3 p.m. It's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. I thought you would live there.
Mm. You would think that. I do have a futon, a mini fridge, and a microwave, so I could. Did I tell last summer? Nope. It was this school year. This fall. I took Emmy and all 3 of her friends with permission. We had a sleepover in my classroom. It was hysterical.
That sounds like a facilities nightmare.
No, it was I
Do they not lock the school down at night or what?
yeah, they lock the school down at night. I have keys.
I know, but don't they have a system? Oh.
No. So like with permission. So like so we had a sleepover in my classroom and they had the best time. We picked up pizza. I played a movie on my big screen up front. At one point we went down to the gym and played basketball. Like it was a great time.
That sounds
It
great.
was fun. I mean, do you remember when we did trivia overnight at school?
Yep.
As a middle school teacher now, the idea of like middle school students overnight unsupervised in a classroom makes me want to vomit.
I forgot that we did that at our school.
Oh, I didn't forget.
But they checked in every hour.
They checked in every hour. Do you know how many babies could have been made?
A lot.
Could have or did.
The one of those.
Right.
I mean,
I think my graduating class had like 20 pregnant girls, so.
We were on a team together one year.
Yes, we were. Yeah.
And that's when you got pregnant?
Yes, that's when I got pregnant.
Yeah.
That's why my kid is
You're
11 and not 22.
That would be wild.
It'd be wild.
Yeah, we did that too with cross country. We did like a lock-in thing where we stayed overnight in the gym, like a whole bunch of kids from 7th grade to
But
seniors.
that's one room. We're talking about it. The middle school thing was
We
they
were
had
all
a
in separate.
different
Every
team
team
in
was in a different classroom.
Yeah.
And the teachers were like
I
just
remember
stationed
that.
in the hallway and would come
Yeah.
check in like once an
They
hour.
didn't like keep a teacher in each
No.
room or anything.
I think I was on your guys' team one year.
Probably.
Maybe. I don't think so.
But I know
No.
I know there was one year that we did it. I can remember the classroom. I could
Me and
show
you only did it together once. I
only did it
remember I
together
did
once.
it twice.
I did it
with
twice
other
total, but only
friends.
once with you.
I did it all 3 years.
But I remember the room that we were in when we were together. I could point it out.
I remember
On a
all
map.
3 rooms that I did that in.
I remember I was in 2. But the room that we were in, we had like tables up against the wall that we put like a sheet over in case, quote, people wanted to like go and sleep. But there were definitely like couples that like went underneath that sheet.
Yes. Well, I think one couple in particular.
What would they do behind the sheet?
I mean, making out.
Scandalous.
I don't think we ever went behind the sheet.
Not us. No.
Yeah, no. We're straight edge. Sorry, guys. Sorry to disappoint. No fun stories there.
Yeah, if it would have been me, different story.
We've got nothing.
That room in particular.
Me with my purity ring.
That room in
If
particular.
I take it off during the act,
It still counts.
still
No,
pure,
that still
right?
counts.
Yeah.
That room in particular actually
Are you
was
sure?
one of the like more supervised rooms, I would say, because it's right next to the cafeteria.
It was right next to the cafeteria, and then like
Yeah.
the door was like directly into the end of the hallway where like all the teachers were.
Yeah.
But like,
Anyway.
We put a sheet over one of the tables for quote sleeping.
I don't remember
Wow.
it being completely covered. There was.
It was mostly covered.
Yeah.
But, like-
okay, well,
Now 20-something
Are
years later, as a
you-
middle school teacher, that whole thing makes me want to break out in hives. Like that's terrible.
yeah, that would be terrible. Do you have anything else to say about your show?
No, that's all I've got.
Great. Okay, well, next week we are back to our normal format. We're recouping back to our normal format. So, Jake, what topic are you giving Kayla next week?
So it sounds like mine's gonna be fun. So I'm gonna give Kayla like a heavy topic.
Oh God, thanks for that.
The one I had an idea would be like tragedy planning for teachers.
Oof. Okay, I can do this.
Yeah, there's a lot of it, but I mean, I think it's interesting in particular. Like,
If I cry on this podcast, are you gonna cut that out or leave it in?
Leave it in.
Great.
Kelsey says leave it in.
Yeah. I actually have a lot to say about tragedy planning too, now working at a college and being on the team that facilitates the drills and stuff. So this will be an interesting
I mean, you
topic.
can take it where you want to, but I was just thinking
Okay.
about in particular, I know that you went through an active shooter training that itself was traumatizing. So
I'm supposed to
think
do
it's a
another one this
topic-
summer, and I've refused to sign up for it.
I know you dodged it like any other
5
time
years
that it's
from
coming up. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was my idea.
Cool. Okay, so Kayla's going to talk about tragedy planning. And Kayla, what are we giving Jake this week?
Time travel. I
Time
was literally
travel.
going to give him time
Okay.
travel.
Were you really?
Yes.
That's wild. Cool.
Actually, I mean,
Time
I
travel-
threw some stuff into ChatGPT. ChatGPT says black holes and time travel. I don't know if you want to tackle both of them together. I know. That's why I broke it up. You can tackle one. Which one do you want to do? Black holes, time travel, both of them? I feel like both is a lot.
I think ChatGPT's been watching too many movies.
Right.
I think ChatGPT has been watching too many movies, which is why I didn't put them together.
I think like kind of what I was getting at is like maybe not necessarily time travel, but like relativity.
Let's do it. Time travel
specifically in the sense of like how that deals with, or what that does with time. Yeah.
Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds great.
Cool.
Okay.
Fun. I'm excited. Back to our regular programming next week, and please follow us on social media. It's at This Wasn't on the Test. And like and subscribe and leave us reviews wherever you find your podcasts. Thanks so much for joining in, and we'll catch you next time on This Wasn't on the Test.
Bye.
Bye.